of your Otters broadcasts this year. New excitement, new opportunities, and it's the 25th season, the 25th anniversary of the Evansville Otters, and I know all the fans are really excited to join along in this season for the ride, and the Otters are looking for another postseason berth.
I hope we get a win, because a lot of the players, Dave, are back from last year, and we had a pretty good team last year, so looking forward to a playoff berth.
Yes, you alluded to it earlier, Bill. There are 16 returning members from last year's team, so the Otters again are looking forward with that veteran-type leadership to get to the Frontier League playoffs and hopefully bring home the championship like they did in 2016.
Well, a couple of my favorites, Dave, are back, and that is, you can't believe it, but Mr. Ryan Long is back, and our good center fielder that's got good speed, and we can't forget him, and that is, take a guess.
We got Hunter Cullen.
That's right, the man that got 3 hits last night, and he's back, and he's one of our favorites. So we're looking forward to a pretty good season this year, Dave, and welcome. And I think you're going to enjoy working with Paul Mattingly, who's back at the radio station, who is our director, and he tells us what to do. And I tell you what, he is one of the best. So you're going to have an exciting year this year.
No, I bet, and we want to say hello back to Paul back at the studio. And another guy who knows a little bit more about this team is the general manager, Andy McCauley. We had a pleasure to interview him before the game. So we'll head to commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll listen to the skipper. You're listening to 91.5 WEUV Otters Radio.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
All right, Dave Nguyen, along with skipper Andy McCauley. Andy, thanks for joining me for today. First things first, heading into tonight's game, how do you feel about thus far?
Long way to go. I mean, that's why we're in spring training. I mean, there's a lot of new faces out there, and get them in the mix and see how they perform in game situations. And that's what we're trying to do, get as many guys in to the game, as well as getting the guys, that we are sure about their reps and their ABs to be ready for, next Friday. But this Friday, tonight's game is one that we take very seriously with the Jacobs Village game and playing Southern Illinois. But, like to get our work in, but still we like to show well as well.
Not every team is perfect, but what is one thing you want to see your roster do today to improve upon that you haven't seen in a while?
It's tough to say. I mean, we're looking at a lot of things. Sometimes we're looking at situations. Sometimes we're looking at bats. Sometimes we're looking at pitch selection. So, I mean, it's tough in spring training because the overall goal is not whether you win or lose. It's getting in those situations as often as possible with the guys we want in those situations to evaluate. I'd say, half of our roster's pretty set. It's the, or even 3/4 of our roster's pretty that we're trying to tighten up and evaluate there. So, I like some of the ABs we had. I think that's something that, we need to continue to do better jobs, just quality at bats. And then, so some pitching surprises one way or the other, good and bad, have transpired the last day or so. So, just getting more guys into the mix in the game situations, especially good when you face another team, so you're not facing, your own team. And tonight's another opportunity for that.
I noticed on Wednesday there was in the first inning, there was a fly ball, and the second baseman and right fielder didn't communicate properly to see see who would get it. So how important is communication overall in the game of baseball?
Well, a lot of that stuff that you're seeing here, we made some mistakes on rundowns. We made some mistakes base running the other night. We made some communication mistakes. You can't cover everything in 3 or 4 days, and it's more important to get down to a number, that you can work on these kind of things. Our base running, our communication, our signals, our signs, that kind of stuff usually comes after these exhibition games, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. In retrospect, you want those kind of mistakes to take place in the exhibition so we can address it when we do our fundamentals. Then there's a frame of reference. This is the play that happened, and this is why we're working on this drill, so everybody kind of knows why we're working on it and why we're doing it. So there's plenty of fundamental. There'll be fundamental mistakes tonight. There'll be fundamental mistakes all year. But, that's why they're here, and that's why we're here to correct them, work on them, and move on, and, hopefully scratch them off the list of things to work on.
Last, we got Jake Welch starting off for you tonight on the mound. First, how do you think he has performed so far in camp, and what do you expect for him to bring tonight?
Well, actually, Tyler Beardsley starting tonight. Jake Welch will come in second, the fourth, fifth, and sixth inning. Both have thrown very well in camp so far. Beardsley's been a huge upgrade over last year's Tyler Beardsley. Did a great job for us last year, and we're really excited to see. It looks like he really put a lot of time in the offseason working on his craft, because he's put a few miles per hour on his fastball, as well as maintain the same movement, dominant sinker that he's thrown, with us in years past. Jake Welch, we saw him in the league last year. We saw him live face us. Certainly a quality starter in this league, has certainly melded in with the rest of the clubhouse, knowing some of the guys from previous years. Real good friends with Randy Wynn. I'm looking forward to seeing him compete too. So, these guys are, starters. There's still a starting job or two that are still open, so they're still competing for starting jobs. But either way, I think we'll see either one of them, if not in the starting rotation, certainly in the bullpen in some capacity. Two of the better arms coming out of spring.
Lastly, tonight being the Jacobs Village game and how we've had education games before, what does it mean for the organization to give back to the community?
It's the Bussing family. I mean, you can't say enough about what they do and how they impact the community. But it's a pleasure to work for that ownership group, and that's why I'm here for 10 years. It's my longest stint managing, good for good reasons and bad. But it's certainly where I want to be, and to work for the Bussing family it's certainly been my honor, and there's no one I'd rather work for. But this game is more about the charity. I mean, just having the residents of Jacobs Village come out and walk the field before the game. Hopefully that the track's not too wet, but to walk the field and get them on the field. We also do a baseball game with Bryce Weiler where we come out and then we play them in a game. I think we're doing 2 of those.
You see what he just said?
And welcome back. That was skipper Andy McCauley for the Otters. Again, I'm Dave Nguyen along with Bill McCune, and we are set for baseball. Bill, it's an exciting time of year. Teams are out. Otters are ready for another playoff run. And even though it's exhibition game number 3, it's still in a very important game.
Yes, and the field is in beautiful shape. That's one of the things about Bosse Field, Dave. It's one of the most beautiful baseball fields in the entire United States. And in case I know I'm not going to edify you with a new knowledge, and that is, this is the 3rd oldest professional baseball stadium in the United States. Fenway 1 and Wrigley
number 2. Start things off, the Miners are up to the plate, and up is shortstop Bryant Flente. On the mound for the Otters is Chase Atkins, and the first pitch is underway. And a called strike on the left outside corner. Good to start the game off with a strike there for Atkins. He kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. A little low for ball 1. Count now even at 1. Weather today at Bosse Field, partly cloudy, high is 75 degrees, low of 58. From the field at Bosse Field, it's like a cool night and obviously a good night for baseball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Way outside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1 to Flete.
Well, you're going to be new to Evansville, Dave, and you'll see when you're talking about 75 now, but in the summer it's going to be Strike.
As there's a strike down Main Street from Atkins. Count now even at 2 to Bryant Flette.
Evansville is quite humid in the summer, and you'll find out about that. But it's beautiful.
Atkins gets the sign, kicks and fires the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the first out of the inning for the Otters.
I noticed that Tyler's got a pretty good breaking pitch, if you notice, but he's relying on the fastball most of the that first batter.
So Tyler Beardsley with the first strikeout. That'll bring up Stephen Lohr, the second baseman for the Miners. And his first pitch is foul behind the backstop. Will go 0-1.
It's nice to see our catcher back there, Mike, from New York, in case you're interested, and pretty good defensive catcher.
The 0-1 pitch from Beardsley. It's a fly ball towards right field, and it will be caught. Justin Irby making the catch out there in right field, going back to the wall, and there are 2 down here in the top of the first. So batting third now will be the extra hitters. We were playing with 10 batters in each lineup tonight. We'll bring up Brett Siddle. Beardsley gets the sign from his catcher, Rizzatello. Setting up outside in the first pitch is a ball on the outside corner for strike 1, for ball 1. Beardsley, one of the better pitchers on the Otters staff this season. He'll kick and fire for the 1-0 pitch. That'll be low and outside once more on the left outside corner to the right-handed batter, Siddle. Count goes to 2-0, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Beardsley catches and fires, and it's a foul ball behind the backstop. Count will go to 2-1.
I don't know if you noticed, Dave, he's been relying on that fastball. You don't see he's got a pretty good breaking pitch, but he hasn't used it much. Mike is back there. I guess they're saving it for, the prom.
And the next pitch from Beardsley is on the inside corner, but it'll be called for a ball. Hitters count now for Brett Siddle at 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch, inside, ball 4, take your base. So Siddle, the first base runner for the Miners, and that'll bring up Chris Iriart.
Well, the little general down there, you notice he's got the scorecard. That's Mike Pino, the manager, and he likes to run. So it's going to be an exciting situation here to see what happens.
Runner at first and Siddle, and Iriart at the plate. First pitch is a big cut, no contact for strike 1.
That was the breaking pitch. I mean, it was pretty good.
Iriart coming over from the normal Corn Belters, who are no longer in the league. He batted .256 with 25 home runs, which led all of the Frontier League, and 59 RBIs. The 0-1, right down Main Street, but umpire thinks it was hit the inside corner, so the count is now even at 1. 2 outs, top of the first, and got a man on first base for the Miners. Beardsley checks the runner. Gets the sign from Rizzatello, and Iriart calls time. There's a little bit of wind out there in center field there, Bill, but for the most part, it's a cool evening here at Boston Field.
Yes, and the flag is at half-mast. I wonder if that's in respect to the former governor and the United States Senator.
It is. As the next pitch from Beardsley's right down Main Street for strike 2.
Evan Bayh, he was the governor and the senator, and he just passed away.
1-2 count to Iriart with a runner on first base. Beardsley checks the runner, kicks and fires, and that ball's ripped down the left field line, and it is gone. Home run for Chris Iriart. He'll touch them all as the Miners get on the board and lead this one 2-0 here in the top of the first.
Well, I don't know if you noticed anything on that particular batter, Dave, but most of every one of the pitches that he threw were breaking pitches. And that one kind of hung up there. And, you know, that's one of the bad features about having a big rounding curve, that when it hangs, boy, it's downtown.
That'll bring up Alex Santana. The first pitch to him is a strike. 0-1 the count to Santana, who has had some major league experience in affiliated baseball between single A and rookie baseball. Second pitch is flied out to the third baseman, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first, and we'll meet the Otters starting lineup. You're listening to 91.5 WEUV.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The EPD SWAT Challenge is Saturday, May 4th from 8 a.m. till noon. It's a 5K obstacle course in downtown Evansville, created by our own Evansville Police SWAT team. 600 participants, including 100 children, will compete on 18 obstacles. The Boom Squad will be there, along with gymnasts, EPD's Mounted Patrol, and Star Wars characters in costume. Food trucks will be there as well. The family-friendly SWAT Challenge happens Saturday, May 4th, near the Four Freedoms Monument. Want to try the obstacle course? Register at epdfoundation.org.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
By just watching the way he indicates to the catcher what he's throwing.
And welcome back to Bossier Field. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Miners lead this one 2-0 after a 2-run homer by Chris Iriart. Let's meet the starting lineups for the Otters. We got at second base leading off at David Cronin, the all-star second baseman. Batting second, J.J. Gould at shortstop. Batting third, playing second base is Ryan Long. Batting fourth at cleanup at first base is Carlos Castro. Batting fifth is Mitchell Hansen, the extra hitter tonight. Batting sixth, playing right field is Justin Irby. Batting seventh is Jack Meggs out there in left field. Batting eighth is Taylor Lane, the designated hitter for tonight for the Otters. Batting ninth is Hunter Cullen out there in center field. And batting 10th, because it's an exhibition game, Mike Rizzatello, the catcher. Here comes David Cronin stepping into the batter's box on the right-hand side. And pitching for the Miners is Chase Atkins, the right-hander. First pitch from Atkins is a ball high and outside. Count going to 1-0 to David Cronin.
And my apologies to our fans out there in Otterville. The flag is draped for the late United States Senator Richard Lugar. So my apologies, not Evan By, but Richard Lugar.
Second pitch to Cronin is on the inside corner for a strike. Count now 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch is a ground ball to first base. Iriart will flip it to Atkins for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up the shortstop for the Otters, J.J. Gould. Gould played pretty well for the Otters last year, batting .254 with 12 RBIs and 16 runs scored. Looking to improve upon last season. Batting from the left side. Here's the first pitch to Gould. It's right down Main Street there for a strike. 0-1 the count to J.J. Gould. Atkins looking comfortable at the mound. It's still early, but he got the first out of the way in a couple of pitches. And the pitch to Gould was a strike. Second pitch to Gould is a foul behind the backstop. Count will go to 0-2 to Gould.
That was a high breaking pitch. It looked like a cut fastball more than a breaking curveball, but it got JJ anyway.
Atkins shaking off his initial sign from his catcher, Cosgrove. He'll kick and fire in the 0-2 pitch. Way high and inside, almost near the head of Gould. Count will go to 1-2. One out here, bottom of the first. 2-0 Miners after the 2-run home run from first baseman Chris Iriart. The 1-2 pitch is a fly ball to left center field, and it will bloop there for a base hit. Gould blooping it over the shortstop Flete, as there was poor communication between Flete, Duncan, and Santana to who would recover the ball. So the Otters have their first base runner of the night, and that'll bring up Ryan Long, a fan favorite here in Otterville.
I tell you what, down there in Crandall, Texas, Mr. Long is listening to our broadcast, Dave. He's one of our favorite listeners, and this is his son, Ryan, and I tell you what, he's a pretty good ball player, whether he's playing the infield or the outfield.
Long took his first pitch on Wednesday at Bossy Field deep over the left field line, or the left field fence, excuse me. He'll take his first pitch here tonight for a ball and outside 1-0. He has shown some serious power so far in this preseason. The 1-0 pitch to Long is outside for ball 2 on the left side.
Ryan spent a lot of time last year, Dave, playing third base and left field. And whether he's playing either one of those positions or tonight second, he is one of the better ball players in this league.
The next pitch to Long is a fly ball towards left field. Santana taking a few steps to his left and will make the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Carlos Castro, the first baseman for tonight for the Otters.
Santana didn't look too comfortable out there fielding that fly ball. Now he's just indicating, is it the lights or what? But I tell you what, you didn't want to bet the ranch on that particular catch.
Castro playing first base for the Otters last year in 19 games. He batted .333 with 26 hits and 7 runs batted in.
I tell you, Dave, when the ball, there's a curveball, pretty good strike. When this guy hits the ball, I mean, they're rockets. And he's got good power.
Atkins gets his sign, nods his head, throw pickoff over to first base. Ball gets away from Iriart, and Gould will get over to second safely.
Aggressive baseball, that's what wins ball games.
Atkins checking the runner Gould at first, overthrowing his first baseman Iriart. Ball going low in the dirt towards the first base backstop. And Gould, using his speed, was able to get to second base easily.
And I call it to your attention. Did you see anything wrong with the first baseman on that particular play?
It looked like he lowered his glove instead of just keeping it up high at his chest. And this next pitch is ground ball, base hit down the third base line. Gould will come all the way around to score as Castro goes in safely with an RBI double. It's 2-1. Carlos Castro getting the Otters on the board.
What do you think? Was that a rocket that he hit?
Absolutely.
Right. And what I was going to say about the first baseman on that particular call, he was kind of lazy, thinking that, all right, the ball got by him a few feet, but the runner was going to stay on first, and J.J. took advantage of that. So there's a mistake of laziness. And so those things win ball games for you by taking advantage.
That'll step in Mitchell Hansen, tonight's extra hitter. Castro on second base. And he'll rip this one down the first base line, but it will be flown out to the right fielder, Brocado. The Otters get on the board, and after one, it's 2-1 Miners. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WEUV.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The pizza brick road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The pizza brick road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the pizza brick road. Road down to Tyroni's. The pizza brick road. The pizza brick road always goes to Tyroni's.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW 16.
Field. Here in the top of the second inning, the Otters are down to the Miners 2-1. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. That'll bring up for the Otters Alex Santana, tonight's left fielder for the Miners.
Santana flied out to left field.
Thank you. We'll bring up Harrison Bragg. And the first pitch to Bragg is a ball way inside. Almost hit him. It'll be 1-0.
You know, when you mentioned Santana, I don't know if it's a relative or not, but there was a Santana that played for, what a good breaking pitch that was.
As the breaking ball from Beardsley is a swing and a miss from Bragg.
But
and the count goes even at 1.
The Miners used to have a ball player named Santana that was one of their players and later a coach, and I understand he's still affiliated.
As the 1-1 pitch is inside, count goes to 2-1 to Harrison Bragg.
But Santana was still affiliated from what I understand, and I'll tell you what, he was a 300 hitter. But most of his hits were ground ball base hits where he beat him out with a speed. Not so much good solid hitting, but just a lot of bleeders.
Bragg's fourth pitch of the at-bat was a strike, count now even at 2. 2-2 pitch from Beardsley.
Strike 3.
Looked right down Main Street, but the umpire thought it was low. Count goes full at 3-2.
Well, you know, this is spring training for the umpires as well. Let's hope they make their mistakes in pregame and not during the season.
Beardsley gets his sign, ground ball to Gould, and he'll throw it easily to Castro for out number 1. That'll bring up Gianfranco Wawu. He's Venezuelan, and he played single-A ball in 2017, batting .270 with 62 RBIs. 1 out here in the top of the second. Miners lead the Otters 2-1. Beardsley gets the sign from Rizzatello, setting up outside. And the pitch is outside on the right-hand corner for ball 1. Beardsley gets the sign once more, kicks and fires. The 1-0 pitch is low once more for ball 2. Two 2-0 the count to Wawu, playing second base tonight for the Miners. And the 2-0 pitch is fly towards right center field, and it will be caught by Hunter Cullen for out number 2. That'll bring up Andy Cosgrove, who played some rookie ball last year in affiliated baseball.
One of the things you'll notice, Dave, as the season progresses is that you got that young man out there in center. You just mentioned his name, Hunter Cullen, and you'll see that he's got great speed. He covers a lot of ground out there. And he's from Newport, California, and his parents are listening too. Again, we've got a lot of loyal fans, ball players' parents who listen to our games, and welcome aboard. We're happy to have you.
Cosgrove's first pitch is low in the dirt for ball 1, and the second pitch is low in the dirt once more for ball 2. So 2-0 the count to Andy Cosgrove here in the top of the second. 2-1 Miners over the Otters. And the 2-0 pitch is a big hack, no contact for strike number 1. 2-1 the count as Cosgrove falling for the high fastball. Good setup there by Rizzatello. Beardsley shaking off the sign. Kicks and fires. The 2-1 pitch is fouled behind the backstop. Count goes even at 2 with 2 outs here in the top of the second. Miners were able to get on the board in the first inning by a 2-run home run by Chris Iriart. Honors countered back in the bottom of the first with an RBI double from Carlos Castro. The 2-2, fly ball, left field, and Meggs will make the catch for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the second, 2-1 Miners. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
If you like live jazz music, you're going to want to be at the Preston Arts Center Sunday, 4 p.m. for the UE Jazz Invitational. This big free concert of jazz bands features the UE Jazz Band, USI's Jazz Group, Wade Baker's Squad from Olney Central, EVSC Honors Jazz, Mount Vernon Jazz Band, and more. Also a very special guest fusion band, Berserkus. Fun, free, hot jazz. The UE Jazz Invitational starting at 4 p.m. at the Preston Arts Center in Henderson. Hope to see you there.
Hi, this is Joe Townsend from JMT Restoration. We are proud to be a sponsor of the 2016 Frontier Champion Evansville Otters. If you ever have a mold or water restoration issue in your home or business, give us a call at 812-205-5384. JMT Restoration Service, where professional work meets affordable pricing. Remember, go Otters!
And welcome back to Otters Radio. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 2-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Up for the Otters to bat right now is the right fielder Justin Irby. Chase Atkins, the Miners pitcher, puts the glove at his chest, waiting for the sign from his catcher Cosgrove. He'll kick and fire as Irby takes the first pitch and loops it to center field for a base hit. Sometimes if you see the pitch that you like early, Bill, you'll swing at it.
Well, I'm a believer in swinging at that first pitch if it's a strike. Too many people, and we've had many of our former ball players, they're swinging at the first pitch no matter where it is. And, of course, you got one strike on you before you even get settled in the batter's box. Anyway, here we have a situation. I know Andy generally doesn't.
As we bring up Jack Meggs to the plate, and the first pitch to Meggs is a foul ball down the first base line. Count goes to 0-1. But go ahead, Bill.
No, I was going to say this young man made a pretty good catch out there in left field on that last out. But I'm going to say Andy don't bunt that much. But in this situation is spring, you don't want to be bunting. You want to let the kids hit away so that this is one of the situations where you're not bunting.
Atkins gets the sign, and the 0-1 pitch to Meggs is a foul ball again, once more down the first base line. Count going to 0-2. So now Meggs will have to protect at the plate. But back to what you were saying, Bill. Normally, I'm not one to swing at the first pitch unless you said swing it, unless it's a strike. I'm normally someone who likes to work the count, but I didn't play much baseball growing up.
Well, Dave, a lot of guys don't know what the strike zone is. And that's one of the problems when they're batting. And that is
a throw
why,
over to first.
That's why if you see that ball coming down, especially a fastball, jump on it. Because you may not get another good pitch the rest of your at-bat.
I can agree. The throw over to first is in time, but Irby still safe. The 0-2 pitch is another foul ball down the first baseline as Meggs is staying alive at the plate.
We used to have a catcher here years ago. He's a lawyer down in Florida now. A real nice kid. And anyway, he would sit there and take strike one, strike two, then he'd swing. And, I mean, he was batting like 180. Good defensive catcher, nice kid.
Atkins gets the sign, and the 0-2 pitch is a ball outside to Meggs on the left outside corner.
So I said to him one time, I said, why do you let those good strikes? I mean, as a pitcher, everyone in the league knows, hey, he doesn't swing at anything. So just throw fastballs down the middle, and, you're setting them up. I said, start swinging at those first pitches.
The 1-2 pitch as Meggs swing and a miss for out number one. That'll bring up Hunter Cullen, a speedy center fielder that you alluded to earlier. No, excuse me, it'll bring up Taylor Lane. Taylor Lane played in 14 games with the Otters last year, batting .261 with 9 RBIs and 14 hits.
Hunter got 3 hits last night, didn't he?
Yes, and we'll see him up in the on-deck circle. Atkins gets the sign. Run on first for the Otters, and the first pitch to Lane is a ball in the dirt. Count will move to 1-0. 1 out, bottom of the second, 2-1 Miners over the Otters.
See, now, normally this would be a good hit-and-run situation. He's getting a good lead over there at first.
Atkins waiting for the sign from his catcher, Cosgrove. He'll kick and fire for the 1-0 pitch. Way inside for a ball. Count moves to 2-0.
See, now, in normal baseball, this would be a good hit-and-run situation where the pitcher is going to break his back to throw a strike. So the batter is generally going to be swinging.
Throw over to first. Tag was there, but Irby is there in time to get back there safely. It was a close call over there at first base. But the Otters still remain having a runner at first.
Boots stays over there coaching first base. Boots is...
As this pitch is lined back to the pitcher, over to second for 1, and he can't get the ball out of his glove for the double play. Flete getting the ball at second for the first out, but couldn't throw over to first for the double play.
He had a little trouble getting that ball out of his glove. I was going to say Boots Day has been an icon in this Bossy Field. He was a player with the Triplets years ago, and he was the first manager for the Otters back in the early days, and then he's been a coach. So Boots is back at first.
Now it'll bring up Hunter Cullen, the speedy center fielder tonight for the Otters. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 2-1 Miners, the score. As a throw over to first once more is not in time. Eariart couldn't handle that ball again as Lane remains on first safely. First pitch to Cullen is low in the dirt for ball 1. Count at 1-0.
Well, a lot of first basemen are home run hitters. They're not known for their defense.
I think that's why it's important to be an all-around player in all facets of the game. The 1-0 pitch to Cullen is right there on the outside corner for a strike on that left corner. Count goes to even at 1 to Hunter Cullen. Hunter Cullen last year batting .240 with 3 home runs and 23 RBIs for the Otters last year. Throw over to first once more by Atkins. Iriart catches it, but Lane able to get there in time.
Well, we'll see if Hunter slaps that ball over short.
And the next pitch to Hunter Cullen is a foul ball behind the backstop. Count will go to 1-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Miners lead the Otters 2-1. As we are live here at historic Bosse Field in the 25th anniversary of the Evansville Otters.
25 years, you're right.
And there are many promotions here throughout the homestand and throughout all games here at Bosse Field, including Jacobs Village tonight. One of the local charities that the Evansville Otters like to associate themselves with. Collins stands ready in the batter's box, and the 1-2 pitch is ripped towards the second baseman and will be caught, but he will be safe.
Oh, no!
The crowd thought he was safe as Hunter Cullen was running fast down the first base line. The second baseman, Wawu, was able to get it to Iriart in time for the third out of the inning.
And if you notice, Andy ran out to the infield to talk to the umpire, and he really was professional. He just said, like, hey, you blew that call, and he kept running, so there was no controversy.
Well, ahead to the top of the third, 2-1 Miners over the Otters. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The local area Pepsi Bottling Group distributors would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Featuring Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the Tri-State, the Pepsi Bottling Group has 3 Tri-State locations at 901 East Diamond Avenue in Evansville, 2605 West Main Street in Marion, Illinois, and at 3081 Kentronics Drive in Owensboro. More information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville.
Back to Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. And that'll bring up Anthony Brocato for the Miners. And the first pitch to Brocato is on the inside corner for a ball.
And we have a new pitcher out there, do we not?
No, Beardsley looks like he'll be out there for one more inning of work.
Okay. All right,
and he takes the second pitch on the ball on the outside corner. Count will move to 2-0 here in the top of the third. 2-1, Miners the score. His third pitch is ripped into right field for a base hit. Brocato rounding first, and he'll stop there.
I tell you what, that right fielder that we have, Ebley, got over there quickly and threw a pretty good throw there to second base. If the batter had chance going to second, he would have been out.
Irby rifling it there to Cronin from right field to hold Brocato to a single. And that'll bring up Joe Duncan. And first pitch to Duncan is right there on the outside corner for strike one. Runner on first for the Miners. Beardsley getting the sign from Rizzatello. Setting up outside, the second pitch is grounded to second for 1 and over to first for 2 for a double play. Cronin fielding that ball himself, stepping on the second base bag for 1 and throwing over to Castro for the double play. And that'll bring up the top of the order for the Miners, Bryant Flente. In his first at-bat in the first inning, he struck out. Beardsley gets the sign, and the first pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Looking like a fastball in that first pitch right there from Beardsley. He'll kick and fire for the 0-1 pitch. Low in the dirt inside for ball 2. Count now even at 1. 2 outs here, top of the third. 2-1 the score in favor of the Miners. Beardsley set with the glove at his belt, and the 1-1 pitch is grounded to Cronin, and he'll field it over to Castro for the third out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third. 2-1 Miners. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WEUV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com. A Case of the Blues is your home for blues music in the tri-state, featuring music from local artists like Honey Roy, Dale Niehaus and Bad Mojo, the Bosco France Band, and the Beat Daddies, as well as legends of the blues like B.B. King, Buddy Guy, and Muddy Waters. A Case of the Blues is on every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., only on your place for blues in the tri-state, 91.5 FM WUEV Evansville, a University of Evansville radio station.
Maybe that's why we'll see.
Welcome back to Bossy Field here in Evansville. The Otters are down 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the third. And up bat is Mike Rizzatello.
Oh, Mike. Good little catcher, Dave. Good arm, good defense. Hit a lot of extra base hits last year.
First pitch to Rizzatello is low for a ball. Count goes to 1-0 to Mike. He hit .223 for the Otters last year with 1 home run and 19 RBIs as he fouls this pitch down the third base line to even the count at 1.
He didn't have many hits, but he got a lot of timely hits, and most of his hits were for extra bases. I bet, I don't have the record, but I'm going to say I believe he had 2 or 3 or 4 triples and maybe 6 or 7 doubles with 1 homer.
The 1-1 pitch to Rizzatello is a fly ball towards center field, and it will be caught by Duncan for out number 1.
That is what Mike does a lot, unfortunately, is hit a lot of fly balls to center field. I think he uppercuts too much.
That'll bring up the top of the order for the Otters. David Cronin, the second baseman, will step to the plate. And the first pitch to Cronin is a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Next pitch to Cronin is a ground ball to the shortstop, and
safe.
He makes it safe, it looks like, as the throw to Iriart from Flete hit the glove and then popped out of the glove. So that's why you hustle down the line no matter what.
That is right. You know, I don't know how much you know about the 1984 National League Championship, but Flannery, a utility player, hustled down the base when the first baseman just fumbled it. And the Padres went on to win the National League Championship, all because of hustle. H-U. And I can't spell the rest.
We'll bring up J.J. Gould to the plate, a left-handed batter. He singled his first time up in the first inning and later scored a run off Castro's two-run homer.
Ooh,
RBI single, excuse me.
You know, J.J. stayed at that plate, and that thing went down pretty close.
As there was a foul ball down the third base line, count will go to 0-1 to J.J. Gould. Atkins waiting for the sign from his catcher Cosgrove. Runner on first base and Cronin for the Otters. 2-1 the score in favor of the Miners. Otters looking to tie things up. And the next pitch to Gould is on the outside corner, but will shade for a ball. Count now 1-1. Atkins waiting for the sign from his catcher Cosgrove as there's a run on first for the Otters. Shakes his head to agree with the pitch. Kicks and fires the 1-1 pitch as a ground ball to third base. Over to second for one, and over to first is not in time for the double play. There will be 2 outs on the fielder's choice there by Gould, and will bring up Carlos Castro, who had an RBI double his first time up in the first inning. Oh, excuse me, that's Ryan Long. There we go. Ryan Long, one of our favorite Otters. He flat out to left field his first time up.
From Crandall, Texas, the Big T.
Atkins checking the runner at first. Gets a sign from his catcher Cosgrove. The first pitch is on the outside corner to Long for a strike. 0-1 to count with 2 outs.
You know, Dave, my wife generally is here watching the games, but unfortunately is not well and can't be here tonight. But she is one of Ryan Long's favorite. Ryan is one of her favorite ball players, and rightfully so. I mean, this guy is really a nice kid. I shouldn't say kid. I mean, they're all over 21. But to me, they're kids.
Well, we wish your wife the best of health and hope she's all right.
Thank you kindly, Dave. I appreciate that.
The next pitch to Long is a fly ball toward left field, and that will go to the wall. Coming around to third will be Gould. Gould at third base as Ryan Long is in there with a double.
You notice how he goes to the opposite field. He does that a lot. So you can see why he's one of my favorites. I like him.
That'll bring up Carlos Castro, man who drove in the first Otters run of the game with an RBI double in the first. And is looking to cash in with 2 runners in scoring position, hoping to tie things up for the Otters here in the bottom of the third.
Well, again, when he hits that ball, the Rockets, even though they may be out, they're hard hit. He has good power, goes to right center a lot with his power. I mean, he pulls the ball, but on his power, he goes a lot to right center.
Otters have runners on second and third with 2 outs. First pitch to Castro is foul down the third base line. Count moving to 0-1. A lot of things happened in baseball today, including in 1936, Joe DiMaggio made his Major League debut with the Yankees, getting 3 hits today on May 3rd of 1936. As the next pitch to Castro is low and outside for a ball, count goes to 1-1.
I've been in professional baseball for over 60-some years. I had the pleasure of watching that gentleman you mentioned,
Jolton Joe?
Jolton Joe, and in my opinion, he was the greatest baseball player that ever lived. I mean, his hitting, his fielding, his running, his whatever. He was a gentleman. Had class.
The 1-1 pitch to Castro is a ground ball to the third base side, and over to first is fielded low. An error on Lore, throwing over to Iriart. A run will score, and the Otters have tied things up here at 2.
It pays to have a good glove on first base, as you can see. As we said, a lot of home run hitters, power hitters on first, but having a good glove is so essential. You don't remember Paytak playing shortstop for the Kansas City Royals in their earlier years. Mayberry was the first baseman, and I'll tell you what, Mayberry saved Paytak more errors because he was a good defensive player.
That'll bring up Mitchell Hansen, the extra hitter for tonight. He flat out to right field in his first at-bat. Takes his first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Count going to 0-1 to Mitchell Hansen. Runners on first and third after Castro running down the line safely, and the error by Lore to Iriart to score. J.J. Gould to tie things up here at 2.
Let's see. Today is Friday. Wednesday, the Otters played the Miners, I believe, at 10 o'clock Educational Day.
It was the Florence Freedom.
Oh, Florence. I'm sorry.
At 11 o'clock.
Okay, my mistake. What I'm thinking of was there was 4 errors in that game by them. That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Wrong team.
Hansen standing in there, and the 1-1 pitch is outside for a ball. Count moving to 2-1. Runners on first and third for the Otters. They just tied things up on a RBI by Carlos Castro. Atkins, the pitcher for the Miners, trying to get out of the inning. As Hansen fouls this ball down the first baseline, count will move to 2-2.
Well, the Otters won. That was a 4-4 game, and then last night they lost 4-5 or something, wasn't it?
7-3.
7-3. I'm sorry. It was 3-3 or something up until the last inning.
It was 4-3 until the 6th, and that's when the Florence Freedom was able to break things open.
I was watching it for a while on that. What do you call it? Point
streak.
Point streak. I never heard of that, but I noticed that Preston had put that in the press release, and I tuned it in, and I was amazed to watch it.
2-2 pitch as Atkins fires is inside for a ball. Count now goes to 3-2 to Mitchell Hansen.
Now, we know the runner on first will be running.
No matter what.
No matter
Well, it's
what.
3-2 count with 2 outs. All the base runners are running on contact no matter what. And the 3-2 pitch. Check swing. Runner running down the first base line. And Hansen will be out as the ball popped out of Cosgrove's glove. Couldn't catch the third strike, so he throws down to first for the final out of the inning. The Otters tied things up as we head to the top of the 4th. 3-3, 2-2 to score. You listen to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
The Tin Fish Restaurant, located at 300 West Jennings Street in Newburgh, Indiana, is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu features salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. The Tin Fish Restaurant.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
And welcome back to Bosse Field, as the Otters and the Miners are tied at 2, as the Otters were able to tie it up in the bottom of the third, as we are now moving to the top of the fourth. Dave Nguyen along with Bill McCune, as we got a new pitcher for the Otters, Jake Welch, in there, as well as a new catcher for the Otters in Rob Calabrese. Up to plate for the Miners is number 18, Stephen Lohr, tonight's second baseman for the Miners. Lohr, in his first at-bat, flied out to right field. We have cloudy skies here at Bosse Field, with a lot of fans here in attendance for Jacobs Village tonight. Welch kicks and fires, and the first pitch is on the inside corner for a ball. 1-0 the count to Stephen Lohr. Welch will kick and fire for the second pitch, and a ground ball to the third baseman. Throwing it over to Castro for first for out number 1.
Mr. Long down there on third base.
And that'll bring up the extra hitter for the Miners in Brett Siddle.
As we said, you know, Long can play the outfield or the infield. I like him on third base. That's my opinion.
And the first pitch to Siddle's on the outside corner for a ball. 1-0 the count to Siddle, who played between Double-A and Single-A baseball in his previous encounters. Siddle's next pitch is a foul ball down the third base line. Count will go to 1-1 with one out here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, with Oakland A's played Double-A, Midland.
Next pitch to Siddle is a foul ball down the third base line. Count will move to 1-2 with one out here in the top of the fourth. Welch waiting for the sign from his catcher Calabrese. And the 1-2 pitch is a swing and a miss for a strikeout.
What a breaking pitch. My goodness, that was a major league curveball.
2 down here in the top of the fourth, as Chris Iriart steps to the plate. Iriart hit that 2-run homer back in the first inning to put the Miners on the board. Otters have now tied things up. First pitch to Iriart is on the inside corner for a strike.
He might have gotten a home run, but does he have 2 errors? I know he had that big error, but I believe he should have 2 errors.
It has cost the Miners a run.
Yes, he might have put 2 out on the board, but I believe he allowed the Otters to score 2, so he's 2 for 2.
Next pitch to Iriart is a foul ball down the third base line. Count now goes to 0-2. He's now at the plate to protect. Welch looking to get out of this inning without much harm. The 0-2 pitch from Welch.
Strike
right
3.
Down Main Street for strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Welch with 2 strikeouts. As we head to the bottom of the fourth, 2-2 the score. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
And welcome back to Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the call. Up to bat for the Otters is Justin Irby, a right fielder.
So far, we've seen a pretty good arm out of this young man.
Absolutely. He threw a bullet back in the first inning to save a couple more runs for the Otters. Prevented the Miners from scoring a few more. First pitch to Irby is on the outside corner there for a strike. Count going to 0-1.
I'm not going to tell you, and I'm not going to insult our fans out there, but anyone that plays right field, that's the strongest arm on the team, because that's the longest throw any outfielder has to make.
Next pitch to Irby is on the inside corner for strike 2. Count going to 0-2 to Irby. The 0-2 pitch low and outside for a ball. Count now 1-2. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Tie score here at 2.
The game's moving pretty fast. I mean, it's a bang-bang game so far.
And on a crisp, cool night for baseball here in Evansville.
Beautiful night.
Here's a fly ball to right field, right center field, and it will be caught.
Ooh, that ball carried.
As Brocato caught that ball towards the warning track in right field for out number 1. Nice piece of hitting there by Irby. It was just caught in the outfield to put a good piece of hitting there on that baseball.
Well, right out there, they don't have the sign yet, but normally there's a 385-foot sign that's out in that area, and I'm going to say that was 380 feet. That was a pretty good drive. It seemed like the ball just kept carrying.
We'll bring up Jack Meggs, who struck out his first time up. And he'll take his first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count to Meggs with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Score tied at 2 here in Evansville. And the 0-1 pitch to Meggs is a swing and a miss for strike 2. Fell for the breaking ball on that one, Bill.
Well, that's what he struck out on the last time that he was at bat. That was the pitch he struck out on. It was kind of a change, high outside. So he can't chase those pitches. We said before, if you're going to swing on the first pitch, make sure it's a strike. Make sure it's a strike on every pitch.
Meggs will kick and fire, Atkins will kick and fire. And that pitch is outside, way outside. Count will move to 2-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Atkins waiting for the sign from his catcher Cosgrove. And the 2-2 pitch, the 1-2 pitch is now outside. Count even at 2 with 1 out. Today in 1980, Willie McCovey hit his 521st and final career home run. As Meggs will ground this ball to the pitcher towards the first base side for out number 2. Iriart able to field it cleanly and tossing it over to Atkins for the second out of the inning.
Big McCovey, pretty good ball player. I think he played first base, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
You know, he might have played for San Francisco Giants, but he was also a New York Giant. He came up through the organization.
That'll bring up Taylor Lane, tonight's designated hitter. His first at-bat, he reached first on a fielder's choice. His first pitch is on the inside corner for strike one. The 0-1 pitch. It's a ground ball towards short. Flete fields it with his glove and throws it over Iriart to end the inning. No runs, no hits, and no men left. We'll go to the top of the fifth with your score tied at 2. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The EPD SWAT Challenge is Saturday, May 4th from 8 a.m. till noon. It's a 5K obstacle course in downtown Evansville, created by our own Evansville Police SWAT team. 600 participants, including 100 children, will compete on 18 obstacles. The Boom Squad will be there, along with gymnasts, EPD's Mounted Patrol, and Star Wars characters in costume. Food trucks will be there as well. The family-friendly SWAT Challenge happens Saturday, May 4th, near the 4 Freedoms Monument. Want to try the obstacle course? Register at epdfoundation.org.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
And welcome back to Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Here in the top of the fifth, we are tied at 2 here in Bosse Field. Miners got on the board early with a 2-run home run in the first inning. The Otters scored 1 in the first to make things 2-1, and then tied it up in the third to make the score now 2-2. We'll bring up Alex Santana for the Miners. He flied out to right field his first time up. And the pitch from Welch is a pop-up towards right field and will go in foul territory towards the seats. So the count goes 0-1 to Santana. And you mentioned, Bill, that there was a Santana in the major leagues. Alex Santana's dad is shortstop Rafael Santana. And if you remember that 86 Mets team that beat the Red Sox in the World Series, that is his father.
Yes, I was in Boston and New York in '86 in those World Series.
The infamous, and it gets through Buckner, and allowed the Mets to win the game in Game 6, and ultimately win the series against the Red Sox in 7 games
at Shea Stadium.
The 1-1 pitch to Santana is foul behind the backstop once more. Count will move to 1-2.
Those are the good days for me, Dave, when I was scouting in the major leagues. I went to the winter meetings. I went to the World Series, the playoffs, Puerto Rico. Oh, those are the good days.
The 1-2 pitch to Santana.
Strike 3.
Strike 3 called. Right down Main Street.
I think a Little League umpire could have called that one. No disrespect to Little Leagues.
And that'll bring up Harrison Bragg. He grounded to first his last time up. 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Welch gets his sign from his catcher, Calabrese, and that'll be a ball located on the inside.
Announcing our PA announcer, Dave, is Zane Golf. Oh, boy, I'm going to... Anyway, Godfeld, and he is running
for city council
in Evansville this year, and he's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. He's one of the best radio PA announcers. I am doing a terrible job in trying to... Anyway, if I lived in a city, I'd vote for him, put it that way.
He's got my support as well. Bragg's next pitch is fouled down the right field line. Count will move to 1-1 with one out here in the top of the fifth.
I bet I don't get a Christmas card from Zane now after calling up his name.
Welch ground ball through the hole between second base and shortstop. That'll be there for an infield single. Bragg on first. One out here, top of the fifth. And that'll bring up Gianfranco Wawu, who flied out to center field his first time up in the second inning.
What is, I wonder what party Zane's running under, or is he an independent? I don't know.
I would not be able to tell you.
Well, again, I live in the county, so I don't know.
First pitch to Wawu is inside for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Gianfranco Wawu. Runner on first for the Miners as Welch checks Bragg over at first base. Gets a sign from his catcher Calabrese and throw over to first, not in time. That was a rifle there from Welch over to Castro at first base to try to get Harrison Bragg out. But he's safe. 0-1 the count to Gianfranco Wawu in a 2-2 ball game here in the top of the fifth. Swing and a miss for strike number 2 as Wawu falling for the high cheese.
You know, we've seen various pitchers so far. Every one of them has a pretty good breaking pitch. And in order to advance into the big leagues, you better have a breaking pitch.
Welch getting the sign from Calabrese as a ground ball through the hole on third base side. And that'll advance the runners as Wawu is there for the infield signal. And that'll bring up Andy Cosgrove, tonight's catcher. First time up, he flied out to left field. But now with runners on first and second, would want to take advantage of the opportunity with a runner in scoring position. And for the Miners, he would want to break this tie. Welch waiting for the sign from his catcher Calabrese. He'll kick and fire. And the first pitch is behind the backstop foul. Count going to 0-1.
What we need right now is a ground ball double play to get us out of this big inning.
I couldn't agree more. Calabrese, the catcher, setting up inside. He'll check the runner at second base, and the 0-1 pitch is a fly ball towards right field, and it will be caught by Irby for out number 2.
It was pretty good communication. Oh boy, am I doing a bad job. Communication between the second baseman and right fielder. If you notice, Dave, where Irby called off JJ, or not JJ.
We got Taylor Hilson replacing Dave Cronin at second base.
Okay, well, they communicated well. I'll tell you what, I got to go back to bed.
That'll bring up Anthony Brocato, who had a single his first time up. 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. And the first pitch to Brocato is on the outside corner, painted for a strike. Runners on first and second for the Miners. 2 outs. Brocato trying to break this tie. Welch trying to get out of the inning for the Otters. He'll check the runner at second base. And the 0-1 pitch is a ground ball to, and great diving stop there by Gould, and he gets the out at second base.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I think that umpire made up for the bad call he made on us because he was safe. Anyway.
Gould with a diving stop and flipping that ball over to Hilson to get the Otters out of the inning.
It was a great play by JJ, but I didn't think he got him. But anyway, we'll take it.
We'll head to the bottom of the fifth, tied at 2 at Bossy Field. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local Chapter 16 would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
And welcome back to Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. And as the Miners were threatening with runners in scoring position, they had runners on first and second, and the Otters were able to get out of the inning unharmed. We head to the bottom of the fifth, and our man Hunter Cullen at the plate with his speed out in center field. In his first at-bat in the second inning, he grounded out to second base. Atkins still the pitcher on the mound for the Miners. And the first pitch from Atkins to Cullen is low in the dirt for a ball.
You know, last year I kept getting it mixed up insofar as Newport Beach. I think that's outside of San Diego or San Francisco. I'm not sure. And I know his father used to call in and correct me. So we may get a call now to say, get it straight.
The next pitch to Hunter Cullen is right down Main Street for a strike. Count going to 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch, check swing by Cullen. He went around, says the home plate umpire. Count going to 1-2.
Well, the shoulder went around with the bat on the shoulder, but I guess because the hips rotated, he called it a strike.
The 1-2 pitch to Cullen is low in the dirt for a ball. Count now even at 2. No outs as we start the bottom of the fifth. There was some scoring early as both teams were able to get on the board in the first inning. The Miners hit a 2-run homer by Chris Iriart. Otters countering with an RBI single from Carlos Castro to make it 2-1. As Cullen grounds this ball towards first base, Iriart flips it over to Atkins for out number 1. That was a close play again as Hunter Cullen running hip pocket, eye socket down the first base line. But the pitcher Atkins was able to get to the bag in time for out number 1.
But that's good hustle running down that line, and that's what made it close. You know, one of the things, in whether you're playing football, basketball, or baseball, hustle is one of the essentials that you need.
And that'll bring up the catcher, Rob Calabrese. Rizzatello still in the ball game behind the plate. And he is hit by the pitch. And he'll say thank you very much as he walks down to first base.
He's a tough little New Yorker.
Yes, he is. And that'll bring up at the top of the order as we get a new batter for the Otters.
That's our catcher, Dalton, Dakota
Phillips now batting for the Otters in his first plate appearance in tonight's game. Phillips' first pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Rizzatello at first base, 1 out here as the next pitch to Dakota is fouled down the third base line. Count going to 0-2.
Rizzatello's got good speed, by the way. So put that in your notes that the catcher normally don't have speed, but Rizzatello does.
Phillips standing in the box on the right-hand side. 0-2 the count with one out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Oh, he's got a lead.
Adkins getting the sign, and Phillips will ground this pitch foul down the first base line. Count remaining at 0-2.
I tell you, the batter had a swing at that, but boy, oh boy, Rizzatello had second base automatically. He was halfway down before the pitcher released the ball.
Dakota Phillips protecting at the plate. Rizzatello, the man on first for the Otters, with one out here in the bottom of the fifth. The 0-2 pitch. He flies this one to deep center field. Going back and catching it is Duncan for out number 2. Dead center is located at 400 feet, and Phillips hit that ball at least 390.
At the old National Bank sign.
And that'll bring up Taylor Hilson to the plate. In his first at-bat, Hilson got a single as he replaced David Cronin in the third inning. Adkins still going to work for the Miners on the mound. Rizzatello, the man on first base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-2 the score. Adkins kicks and fires, and the first pitch to Hilson is low in the dirt for a ball. The lights are on. We got a really good crowd here at Bosse Field for Jacobs Village tonight. But I think the fans want to see a few more runs scored by the home team.
Well, you are aware of.
And the 1-0 pitch as Hilson grounds this ball through the hole down the first base line. Rizzatello goes around second and heads to third, safely sliding head first. So now the Otters are threatening with a man on first and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. As a good piece of hitting there by Taylor Hilson.
Good piece of hitting, but how about that running by Rizzatello? I said he's got some speed for a catcher, and he went from first to third on a ball that went through the infield that he should not have been on third, but that's hustle. And I was about to say, Dave, Jacobs Village, all the money raised tonight, the tickets and all that goes to Jacobs Village. The Otters don't get a penny. It's Mr. Bussing's way of extending his love for the community.
J.J. Gould will step to the plate, and he has scored 2 runs here, all 2 runs of the Otters, touching home plate twice. First pitch to Gould is a swing and a miss for strike 1.
It was a changeup that J.J. took a big swing and missed it by a mile.
Otters threatening with runners on first and third, and this pitch to Gould is fouled behind the backstop, moving the count to 0-2. Gould taking 2 good hacks at the ball, just needs to straighten it out here, and it looks like he really wants to break this game open here for the Otters to give him the lead. Adkins trying to get out of the inning. 2 outs, 0-2 count to Gould here in the bottom of the fifth. Throw over to first, not in time, as Hilson able to get back to first base safely. Adkins getting the sign from his catcher, Cosgrove. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Atkins gets out of the inning unharmed. Otters left a man on third base in scoring position as we head to the top of the 6th. Your score here 2-2 at Bosse Field. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Hi,
This is Joe Townsend from JMT Restoration. We are proud to be a sponsor of the 2016 Frontier Champion Evansville Otters. If you ever have a mold or water restoration issue in your home or business, give us a call at 812-205-5384. JMT Restoration Service, where professional work meets affordable pricing. Remember, go Otters!
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Look when he turns around. Turn 7. No.
All right, we're about to come in.
10. Turn.
17.
17. Okay.
And welcome back to Otters baseball here in the top of the 6th inning. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Tied at 2 here in the top of the 6th. As Joe Duncan steps to the plate and he lines this first pitch to left field. Taking a few steps and making a diving catch is our man Meggs. Jack Meggs out there at left field to make the first out of the inning.
Now, I don't know if he misjudged that or not, but he did run maybe 3-4 steps back, and then he had to come back in. So now whether the lights threw him off or not, I don't know, but you can't play like that all year.
That'll bring up the top of the order for the Miners as Bryant Flette comes to the plate. Flette has had a couple errors in the field earlier in this game as he takes the second pitch, out on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count to Flette with one out here in the top of the 6th. But he had a couple balls thrown over to Iriart in the field that he didn't field cleanly. Next pitch to Flette is fouled behind the backstop, moving the count to 1-2. One out here at top of the 6th. Tied at 2 here at Bossy Field between the Otters and the Miners.
Well, you know, a first baseman's got to scoop up those low pitches that are in the dirt. That's one of the
1-2 pitch is on the outside, making the count even at 2.
That's one of the necessities, first baseman scooping balls from the dirt, because there's going to be so many infielders that throw the ball in the dirt. Not because they want to.
2-2 pitch to Flette is on the outside corner for strike 3. Welch painting the corners here in that at-bat. Gets it to out number 2 here in the top of the 6th.
I'm going to say now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but almost every one of Welsh's strikeouts has been on a breaking pitch, a curveball.
It'll bring up Stephen Lohr, the third baseman for the Miners. He'll take first pitch low for a ball, making the count 1-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And the next pitch to Lohr is low, moving the count to 2-0 with 2 outs. Clear skies here tonight, Bill. It has been a beautiful night for baseball. Next pitch is way inside. Almost hit Stephen Lohr. The count will move to 3-0. And if you're the Miners, you're giving Lohr the green light.
Yes and no.
The 3-0, right down Main Street for a strike. Count moving to 3-1.
The reason I brought that up is there are so many Otters, and I'm talking about in the last 5 or 6 years, that have 3-0 counts.
Next pitch to Lohr is fouled behind the backstop. So the count going from 3-0 to 3-2. Welch trying to get out of the inning with not much harm.
Anyway, on the 3-0 for the Otters, they're always swinging. Andy gives them the go-ahead, and I have yet to see anyone get a base hit.
The 3-2 pitch is outside for a ball. That'll be a walk issued by Welch.
Yeah.
That'll bring up Brett Siddle, tonight's extra hitter. Again, in exhibition play in the Frontier League, teams are allowed to have 10 batters go to the plate. Siddle has walked and scored a run and has struck out tonight. Runner on first, and the first pitch to Siddle is low in the dirt for a ball. Good job by the catcher, Calabrese, on the backstop to not get the ball past him. He had to reach over and extended his glove from the left to the right side to make sure the ball didn't go behind him. Throw over to first, and that is not in time. Lohr safe at first. Good pickoff move there by Welch, but the tag by Castro was not in time. Welch getting the sign from Calabrese, and the 1-0 pitch is outside as the throw down to second base
he's
is
out.
Not in time.
Well,
Lohr using his wheels to get down and stealing a base there, going from first to second.
But how do you say this? Anthony Maselli?
Maselli.
I tell you what, he made a good scoop of that ball and made the tag. I thought he was out.
Believe it's Rob Calabrese behind the plate. Calabrese did a good job by throwing that ball down to second base. Next pitch to Siddle is a swing and a miss. Count moving to 1-2 with 2 outs, top of the 6th. Runner in scoring position at second base for the Miners. Welch looking to get out of this inning, not allowing that run. The 1-2 pitch hits Brett Siddle, and he'll take his base. Siddle, it looked like it hit his near the right hip area.
The gluteus muscles.
And he'll trot down to first base.
Brings back my anatomy.
That'll bring up a new batter for the Miners, and we'll check that shortly.
Gaines. G-A-N-N-S, Gaines. Trey Gaines. Trey Gans. Gant. What did I get?
Trey Gans' first pitch.
Gans, yeah.
Is on the outside corner, but a little outside. It'll be a ball. 1-2 the count, as runners are on first and second for the Miners. Welch checks the runner at second base, and the second pitch of the at-bat is outside for a ball. Count going to 2-0.
See, now, if he throws another ball, then the catcher should run out and give a little talk to that man to calm him down. I think he's nervous now with the bases, runners on first and second.
2-0 the count to Trey Gans, and he takes the third pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
I think we got a break on that pitch. That was high and outside, but we'll take it.
We'll take what we can get. That's right.
That's right. We'll take it.
2-1 the count to Trey Gans. Welch checking the runner at second base. 2-1 pitch. Outside for a ball, moving the count to 3-1.
See, this is where a catcher earns his money. You got to go out there and control that pitcher. You got to talk to him and say, hey, take it easy. Calm down.
Welch gets the sign from Calabrese in the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Count goes full to Trey Gans from Florence, Kentucky. Not far from the Florence Freedom here in the Frontier League.
No, about a 3-hour drive.
From here.
Yeah.
At Bossy Field. The 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. That'll bring up Alex Santana, tonight's left fielder for the Miners. He struck out his last time up. Welch with the bases loaded, trying to get the Otters out of the inning. is in a bit of a tight squeeze here as the ball is fouled behind the backstop. 0-1 the count to Santana. Game started out well for the Miners as they hit a 2-run homer in the first inning by Chris Iriart. An RBI double by Carlos Castro made things 2-1. And later on, Castro came up and hit another RBI to tie things at 2 in the third. Miners now threatening to score with the bases loaded. 0-1 the count to Santana. Welch gets the sign. Kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Is behind the catcher, and the runner from third will get home safely. Ball passed by Calabrese, and the Miners regain the lead here in the top of the sixth.
I'm going to say, Dave, that was a wild pitch, and not so much a pass ball. And I'm generally one who's always arguing that they're not pass balls, which they give. But anyway, that was a wild pitch. That was a breaking pitch. It really had a tight break to it. I don't think I could have gotten that.
So that wild pitch scores Stephen Lohr as Santana will fly this ball out to right field. Easy catch for Irby, and that will end the inning. But the Miners retake the lead on the wild pitch from Welch, and Lohr takes home safely. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Your score, Miners 3, Otters 2. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The local area Pepsi Bottling Group distributors would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Featuring Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state, the Pepsi Bottling Group has 3 tri-state locations at 901 East Diamond Avenue in Evansville, 2605 West Main Street in Marion, Illinois, and at 3081 Kentronics Drive in Owensboro. More information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Hi, this is Zane Clodfelter of the Evansville Otters, and you're listening to WUEV Sports on 91.5 FM.
Thank you, Zane. We welcome you back to Evansville Otters baseball here in the bottom of the sixth. The Miners took the lead on a wild pitch as they lead this one 3-2. But with the Otters coming to bat, we'll have an opportunity to try to tie things up or take the lead.
Well, while we're waiting for that, the first batter, Mr. Long, let me just say that one of Evansville's favorites, Josh Allen, was here working out with the Otters prior to going back to St. Paul. And I tell you what, he's one of the best ball players we ever had here in Otterville. MVP, a hustler, sheriff's deputy. Used to like to fool around with alligators down there in Florida. Old Josh, wish him luck.
First pitch to Long is a ball outside, 1-0 the count. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Miners. It would be C.J. Schilt from Hauppauge, New York, and went to Malloy College. As the next pitch to Long is outside for a ball. Count moving to 2-0. 2-0 pitch to Long is low in the dirt. for ball 3. 3-0 to Long, who has home run potential.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, Bill. I'd give Ryan the green light right here.
Well, Andy does. That's what I say. We'll have to see.
The 3-0 pitch,
well,
high for ball 4. Take your base, Ryan Long.
You're not going to swing at that one up by your face, but I bet if that was close, Ryan would have taken a swing. I'm against it. I personally, if I was down there, I'd say no. You don't swing on a 3-0.
And that'll bring up Carlos Castro, who drove in the first run of the game for the Otters in the first inning.
Yeah.
Castro has shown some power as he takes his first pitch inside. Umpire calls it there on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 to Carlos Castro.
You know you got a 3-0 count, Dave, and you're the pitcher. So
next pitch to Castro's on the outside corner. Called a strike.
You don't want to
count
walk
now 0-2 to Carlos Castro.
You don't want to walk the batter, so you're going to throw a pitch down the middle for a strike. The batter's thinking the same thing, so no matter where the ball is.
As a swing and a miss from Carlos Castro, he's down on strikes. First out here in the bottom of the 6th for the Otters. And that'll bring up Mitchell Hansen.
Yeah.
He is 0 for 2 tonight thus far. Flying out to right field in the first inning. And a ground out to the second baseman in the third.
Yeah, so many batters on a 3-0 and a 3-1.
As Schilt's first pitch to Hansen is on the outside corner for a strike.
They think the pitcher's going to throw a strike, so they automatically are swinging before the pitcher ever releases the ball.
The 0-1 outside looked appearing to be a strike and said it was just a little outside. Count now even at 1 to Mitchell Hansen.
I thought that was identical to the first pitch.
I thought so. Throw over to first from Schilt.
Ooh, new first
Long
baseman.
Is safe.
27. We got new first baseman over there.
Yeah, the Miners broadcaster is nice enough to show me a picture of all the defensive changes that they've made throughout the game. So when we get to commercial, we'll make those changes when necessary. 3-2 Miners over the Otters. And the next pitch to Hansen is a foul behind the backstop. Count going to 1-2. 1 out here, bottom of the 6th. And Ryan Long on first base for the Otters. Hansen waving his bat back and forth as Schilt throws over to first base once more. Long arrives there safely.
I'm assuming Charleston, South Carolina.
Yes.
Okay.
If you played for the minor league affiliate there, it would be the Charleston River Dogs of the Yankees organization.
Yeah.
Next pitch to Hansen is low and outside, evening the count at 2. 1 out, and Ryan Long at first base on the walk for the Otters.
That being the Carolina League.
Some beautiful weather down there when it's sunny.
You're going to go down there in the fall, aren't you?
First things first, you got to get some good baseball here first. As the next pitch to Hansen is high for a ball.
Well, we lost our good announcer last year, Sammy. He went down there. He did an excellent job here last year, and then he went to North Carolina. He stayed there, I guess. Anyway.
The 3-2 pitch is in the dirt for a walk for a ball, and going down to first base will be Mitchell Hansen. So first, the Otters have runners on first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Justin Irby. And to answer your question, Bill, Sam is now in affiliated baseball. He is with the Delmarva Shorebirds of the Baltimore Orioles organization.
Oh, really? Good luck to Sammy. I tell you, he was a fine announcer. I enjoyed working with that man.
So I got no pressure, right? As the first pitch to Justin Irby is a ball. There's a swinging strike, excuse me. But the ball went behind the backstop And the Otters took advantage of the opportunity as there was a double steal. So now the Otters have runners on second and third, one out, with Justin Irby at the plate as they want to tie this game. Manager Andy McCauley being aggressive here on the base path, trying to tie this game up in the sixth. Schilt gets the sign from his catcher. And the pitch outside appeared to be in the strike zone, but the umpire doesn't call one. Instead, it'll be a ball, and the count will move to 2-1.
So all you're hoping for here is a fly ball. Deep enough, the runner on third scores to tie the game. As much as you want a base hit.
2-1. Foul ball behind the backstop as the bat of Irby just got a piece of that baseball. Count will go to 1-2.
You know, when I was playing, Dave, and I was in this situation, I used to say, "Dear Lord, let me just hit a fly ball. All I want's the RBI. Fly ball. Never mind the hit, just a fly."
Schilt gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss for Irby, and that'll be out number 2. That'll bring up Jack Meggs, the fine left fielder. Oh, nope, we have a
22.
Change.
22 is Taylor.
We got Taylor Schwerner at the plate. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity with runners on second and third. Hasn't had many at-bats for the Otters, so he's looking to make this squad, and right here is a golden opportunity to impress Andy McCauley and the rest of the Otters staff. The first pitch to Schwerner.
Ooh, low and outside, called strike.
Count now 0-1. 2 outs. Runners on second and third for the Otters as they're threatening to tie this game up at 3. Next pitch is right there on the outside corner, painted for a strike.
Identical to the first pitch. Low outside. It must be hitting that outside corner because both of them were identical. See, now you've got to swing. Now you can't take any. He did.
Big cut, no contact for Schwerner, and that won the inning. Otters leave runners on second and third and fail to score. We head to the top of the 7th. The Miners lead the Otters 3-2. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
Since 1994, Slay's Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slay's Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slay's Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, located at 300 West Jennings Street in Newburgh, Indiana, is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu features salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. The Tin Fish Restaurant.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
For those listening in Otterville land, well, you like that one, huh?
Otterville land?
Yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, all right. Maybe a pitch hitter or something, but other than that, you wouldn't have these. You know, I used to go to spring training with the Major League Club, and we'd make so many damn changes, and I'd have a sheet, and you'd say, screw it, because what the hell, you're evaluating one guy that bats once.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball.
Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call as the Miners lead this one 3-2. So we head to the top of the 7th.
And we have Tyler Wright pitching.
Taylor Wright.
Chiller?
Taylor.
Oh, Taylor Wright, right.
Taylor Wright out of Berwyn, Pennsylvania.
Berwyn.
And Episcopal Academy High School.
Brown University. One of those smart guys.
Yes, so not only a good athlete, but a scholar as well. That'll bring Harrison Bragg to the plate. Bragg is 1 for 2 tonight with a single in the 5th. Taylor Wright, the man from Brown University on the mound, graduating in 2015. First pitch to Bragg is down the right field line and foul. Wright getting away with that one, as if that ball leaned a little to the left fair, that would have been a double easily down the right field line.
Well, you will see during the course of the year a lot of balls go down those, whether it's the left field line or the right field line, coming off an opposite field hitter.
The 0-1 to Bragg is high and inside for a ball. Count now even at 1. This is Taylor Wright's first time in some sort of professional baseball, and he's looking to make the most of his opportunity with the Evansville Otters. As the 1-1 pitch from Wright is foul behind the backstop, moving the count to 1-2. Bragg up there, he takes some big hacks and is not afraid to swing at a pitch he likes. Wright gets the sign from his catcher, and the 1-2 pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Count now 2-2 to Harrison Bragg. Wright waiting for the sign from Calabrese. And the 2-2 pitch from Wright is high.
It was a curveball that didn't break. It didn't have any bite to it.
Count now going to 3-2. Taylor Wright trying to get his first out as an Otter. The 3-2 pitch from Wright is a foul ball down the third base line. Count remains 3-2 to Harrison Bragg. Clear night here at Bosse Field. Wright waiting for his sign. He'll kick and fire for the 3-2 pitch. And another foul ball, this time in the seats near right field. Maybe a lucky fan over there running over to catch that ball. And the count will remain 3-2 to Harrison Bragg. Wright waits for his sign. With the glove at his belt, both for this pitch, and it'll be a fly ball towards right center field, and it will be fielded cleanly for out number 1, Hunter Cullen making that catch at center field. That'll bring up Gianfranco Wawu to the plate.
Back in Jersey or back in the East, they have, stores, don't they call them Wawas?
Wawa is one of my favorites. As the first pitch to Wawu is a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah. Run down to Wawa and get a case of soda.
More like get a hoagie, as this batter is Kyle Davis of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ooh.
And the next pitch to Davis is inside. Count will be even at 1. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Wright waiting for the sign from Calabrese. With the glove at his belt, the 1-1 pitch. Right down Main Street for a strike. Count moving to 1-2. And a good pitch there by Taylor Wright.
Yeah. Well, the Otters generally, in the past, now again, I'm speaking in the past.
The 1-2 pitch from Wright on the outside corner, called strike 3.
It looked like a little change. But in the past, Dave, the Otters have been known to score in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. So they're down to 3-2, but don't count them out. You wait until that fat lady sings.
That'll bring up a new batter for the Miners with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Be number 23, Arturo Nieto, and he lines that ball into center field for a single.
That was a hanging curveball up around his eyes. It looks like Wright might have a good fastball, but his breaking pitch isn't that too impressive right now.
That'll bring up Luke Bonfield from Silkman, New Jersey. Played for the Miners last year. Standing at 6'3" and 190 pounds. Wright with the pitch. Low in the dirt for a ball. Count going to 1-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Runner on first base for the Miners with 2 outs. Wright waiting for the sign from Calabrese. With the glove at his waist, he'll kick and fire the 1-0 pitch. Right down Main Street for a strike. Count now even at 1. Today in 1979, Bobby Bonds hit his 300th home run against Moose Haas in a 6-1 loss to Milwaukee. Interesting for Bobby Bonds.
Yeah, I never knew Bobby Bonds. I knew his father, but I didn't know him. His father, I used to have a Coke with his father at the hotel in Cleveland. He was a coach for Cleveland, and Joe Klein was the general manager, and we'd all meet after the game and discuss. And Bobby Bonds, Jr., the one you're talking about, used to call his father right after the game.
The 1-2 pitch to Bonfield is low in the dirt. Count now even at 2.
It'd be funny. We'd be sitting at the bar, and he'd be talking about how did you do, or what did you do, you know.
Sounded like a class guy.
Yeah.
Taylor Wright from Brown University on the mound for the Otters with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th and a 2-2 count to Luke Bonfield. The 2-2 pitch right on the outside corner for strike 3. It's stretch time here as Taylor Wright gets the Otters out of this inning with 2 strikeouts. We head to the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and I think
with your
Clyde
score, the Miners 3 and the Otters 2.
And I think Zane's going to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
And welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Miners lead the Otters by a score of 3-2. Miners scored that 3rd run on a wild pitch by the Otters as the ball went behind the backstop as catcher Rob Calabrese was not able to handle the wild pitch from Jake Welch. And that's where we stand thus far.
Oh, that was too sharp of a breaking pitch. There was no way he could have gotten that ball.
So Taylor Lane will look to lead things off for the Otters. So they'll try to score at least one more run to tie this game. Just overall a beautiful sight here at Boston Field. It's my first official broadcast here, and it's been really cool thus far. I understand how historic this ballpark is and how much it means to the community, and the fact that with so much rich in history, there was a movie that was filmed here,
A League of Its Own,
with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and that other woman. I'm not going to say her name, but there was a woman. She sings.
Oh. Sad to say I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'll get back to you on that question, Bill.
Anyway, no, this stadium was built in 1915, and Benjamin Balsey was the mayor, and proposed it, and it's been one of the greatest things that ever happened. Like I said, a lot of ex-major leaguers, Hall of Famers have played here. Hank Greenberg is an example. Now, Babe Ruth, no, he never played here.
If only, right? The great Bambino.
Yeah.
Jack Meggs will step into the dish for the Otters here in the bottom of the seventh. First pitch to Meggs is low in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 the count.
One of the greatest pitchers in all-time baseball, left-hander Warren Spahn, pitched here in, I think it was 40.
Golly. 1-0 the count to Meggs. And the 1-0 pitch, low and outside for ball 2. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Miners. It looked like it will be Cody Thompson from Randolph-Macon College. And Meggs will line this one into right field for a base hit. Good piece of hitting there by Jack Meggs. And the Otters have a runner aboard.
Okay, now
we'll bring up Taylor Lane, tonight's designated hitter, who is 0 for 1 tonight.
0 for 2.
They had a fielder's choice his first at bat.
Oh, okay. Well, but still, it's a no.
Okay.
I don't mean to cut you short.
No, you're good. First pitch to Lane is right there on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count.
His ground ball went to second, or the pitcher, and then the shortstop bobbled it, if you remember, on the double play.
That's right. Throw over to first, not in time, as Meggs is able to get back to first base safely. Thompson getting the sign from his catcher, Nieta. Checks the runner at first base once more. And the 0-1 pitch. Lane grounds that ball to third base. Over to second for 1, but not over to first for 2. So it'll be a fielder's choice there for Taylor Lane again.
Right, and if you noticed, not to be critical, but I am, he really ran that ball out at first base. The first 2 times at bat, he kind of trotted down there to first. And that particular time, he ran, and that's what beat the throw.
Got another new batter for the Otters up at the plate.
Number 5.
And the first pitch is a swing and a miss for a strike. With exhibition games, coaches want to get as many players an opportunity to make an impact in order to make the squad. So with all these changes, it's been a little difficult for Bill and I to get these names right, as well as trying to figure out where these players are playing in the field. But it's baseball, and we'll figure it out eventually. Next pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. Count now even at 1 with 1 out.
That's the problem. Whether you're trying out for the high school, the college, or the pros, there's always 15 outfielders and 20 catchers and whatever, and they only can take so many, so some have to be cut. But in order to be honest and fair, you got to give everyone a chance to bat or throw or whatever.
Count now 2-1. Runner on first and Taylor Lane for the Otters with 1 out. And Cody Thompson still on the mound for the Miners. And there's a ground ball to second base, over to one, and over to first for the double play. Miners get out of the inning on that double play ball. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Your score, the Miners 3 and the Otters 2. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The EPD SWAT Challenge is Saturday, May 4th from 8 a.m. till noon. It's a 5K obstacle course in downtown Evansville, created by our own Evansville Police SWAT team. 600 participants, including 100 children, will compete on 18 obstacles. The Boom Squad will be there, along with gymnasts, EPD's Mounted Patrol, and Star Wars characters in costume. Food trucks will be there as well. The family-friendly SWAT Challenge happens Saturday, May 4th, near the Four Freedoms Monument. Want to try the obstacle course? Register at epdfoundation.org.
91.5 WUEV would like to thank the Boca Lounge for its support. Thursdays, get all the blues you can use with Bosco France and Friends at 6 p.m. Then at 9:30, it's open mic with the On Tap Project. The Boca Lounge, 1007 Parrott Street in downtown Evansville.
And welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. There's a bit of delay in the game right now, but it's for a good cause, as Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. Tonight is Jacobsville tonight, and Bill, you can probably speak to this more than I do since you're familiar with the area, but this is the 25th anniversary of the Evansville Otters, and with it being a special year, the Otters have been known, and at least as far as I've been here in the few short weeks, that they really do like giving back to the community. Tonight in particular is Jacobs Village Night, one of the big charities here in the area, and the players were able to take pictures briefly and just thank the folks from Jacobs Village who came out here to support the team tonight. And overall, it just makes the Otters a really well-known organization, not only on the field but off the field.
Yes, Mr. Bussing did this years ago, and he's a great asset to the community. He believes that the Otters Bossy Field should be something that you appreciate coming to, and he does everything he can to make this community livable and enjoyable, and in helping the Jacob Village, that's one of his pride. And we salute Mr. Bussing, the owner of the Evansville Otters, for all of the community service he does.
As far as the play on the field, we got a new pitcher for the Otters tonight. It looks like Danny Urbeck will be on the mound.
Yeah.
But overall, we haven't seen a lot of runs scored in today's game. It started out early with 3 runs scored in the first. The Miners got on the board with a 2-run homer by Chris Iriart to make the score 2-0. Otters countered with 1 run in the bottom of the first with an RBI double from Carlos Castro. It remained 2-1 until the 3rd inning. Otters tied things up on an RBI single to make things tied at 2. Then in the 6th, Welch, the pitcher, wasn't able to get out of that inning clean. He had the bases loaded with 2 outs. And he threw a wild pitch, and the catcher, Calabrese, wasn't able to get that ball cleanly, which allowed the runner from third base to score. That is how we have a 3-2 ball game here in the top of the 8th. That'll bring up another new batter for the Miners. And on the mound for the Otters is Danny Urbeck. First pitch from Urbeck is a called strike. 0-1 the count. As the new batter will be number 8 for the Miners, Joe Moran. Second pitch to Moran is a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Wasn't Bugsy Moran, wasn't he the big gangster in Chicago years ago against Al Capone? Bugs Moran?
I don't know my history that far, although that does sound pretty interesting. The 0-2 pitch to Moran. Little inside. Count moves to 1-2. Speaking of Al Capone, when I was a freshman in high school, I took a trip out to San Francisco, California, and was fortunate enough to see Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty impressive facility out there.
Yes, it is.
1-2 pitch to Moran is a swing and a miss, and a strike 3. 1 out down here in the top of the 8th, and that'll bring up the top of the order for the Miners in Bryant's Flete.
Did you go across the big bridge?
I did. Golden Gate Bridge. It's 2 miles long.
Yeah.
We did a walk. There are some students in my trip who were too lazy and wanted the bus to drive, but I think me and everyone else wanted to see the experience and be a part of history, especially one of the top landmarks in this country.
Yeah, and you had mentioned
as the first pitch to Flete is on the inside corner for a strike.
You mentioned Joe DiMaggio, and that's where he was from, San Francisco.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Second pitch to Flete is fouled behind the backstop. Count will go to 0-2.
Him and his brothers, Dom DiMaggio, played for Boston, and his brother Vince, who played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yeah. They were all San Francisco, and they played for the San Francisco Seals in the International League. Pacific Coast League before they made the big show.
The 0-2 pitch to Flete. Way outside. 1-2 the count is Danny Urbeck. I don't think he gave that pitch away, but maybe was trying to throw a breaking ball, just wasn't able to find the strike zone. Urbeck gets the sign. He'll kick and fire the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to second base. And fielded cleanly and will be out.
Nice play. Nice play.
2 down here now in the top of the 8th. And it'll bring up Stephen Kraft of Gainesville, Virginia. Not Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, Virginia.
Yeah. Played with the Pittsburgh Pirate rookie team last year.
Kraft standing in the batter's box, and the first pitch to him is low in the dirt for a ball.
Speaking of San Francisco, just for different knowledge, edification, you could be in San Francisco at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to be 85. Then you go to the ballpark, and about 7 o'clock, it's maybe 55.
AT&T Park, right?
Oh, gee, freeze.
The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss.
Yeah,
count moves to 2-1.
If you were there in the afternoon with a T-shirt, you froze at night.
Oh, when I was out in San Francisco, we actually saw a Giant game.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we sat in right field. That's where Barry Bonds was.
Oh.
And I had the pleasure to. I know exactly what you're talking about as far as the weather. It'll be sunny and hot during the day, but when you get to the ballpark, because it's right on the bay.
Yeah.
As a strike is called, right there to even the count, Danny Urbeck, the pitcher for the Otters, right now trying to get out of the inning.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly at night, as you said, because of the ocean.
Yes. AT&T Park located in San Francisco off the bay, but overall it's very nice, cool weather, light jacket weather. Strike 3 called as Urbeck throws the high cheese, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, and no men left. So we head to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 Miners here in Evansville. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural. You must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Welcome back to Bossy Field. This is Evansville Otters baseball. I'm Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune here on the call. Otters trail the Miners 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. It's been a pretty quiet baseball game the last couple innings. Otters have tried to threaten, and they had one inning where they had the bases loaded with 2 outs, just couldn't get the runner home.
Right. And
but it looks like our guy Hunter Cullen is here to start things off in the bottom of the 8th.
What has been interesting, Dave, is there hasn't been too many walks. There's not too many hits either, but the game's moving pretty fast. So what time is it? Well, I think it's just a little over 2 hours. That's it.
It is 8:45 here, Central Time. I got some family listening back at home.
It's an hour's difference.
Yes.
Back in Cherry Hill, in
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yep.
The Garden State, I believe they call it.
Yes. Hunter Cullen approaches the batter's box. He's had a fielder's choice twice tonight, as well as a 6-3 out. He'll look to try to get on base here to start a rally here for the Otters. And the first pitch to Cullen is on the outside. It's outside for a ball. Count goes to 1-0. Here on a crisp, cool night at Bossy Field in Evansville, Indiana. Clear skies, and the 1-0 pitch to Cullen is grounded down the first base line to even the count at 1. New pitcher for the Miners is Gabe Genscher.
Yeah. Now, if you notice where the third baseman's playing, and I'm just suggesting, see, this is a perfect opportunity for left-hand hitters who have speed to lay a bunt down. You got yourself a base hit.
As the third baseman's playing close to the infield grass.
Yeah, but he's playing in way far to the shortstop side, and well, look how deep he is now. Of course, that's 2 strikes, but he was in the close. But the point is, when you're playing that far over, hey, bunt it down the line.
As you alluded, Bill, the next pitch to Cullen is a strike on the inside corner, and the 1-2 pitch is fouled in front of the catcher. Count will remain 1-2.
Yeah, you'll see so many third basemen, when you get a guy that can run, he'll be up on the grass, trying to prevent the bunt. As soon as they get 2 strikes, they move back, which, again, it's logical.
Cullen alive in the batter's box at 1-2, the count. The pitch from Genscher as there's a ground ball through the hole between third base and shortstop. Cullen gets aboard with a single, and that'll be one man aboard for the Otters.
That is his most effective at-bat. He just slapped at the ball. And that's what he does very, very proficiently. He'll slap it. It goes to left field. He can get himself 50 hits.
That'll bring up Anthony Maselli, the catcher. So you were right earlier, Bill. My apologies. Maselli, the catcher, as he takes this pitch low and outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Maselli. Hunter Cullen on first base, getting a pretty good lead there at first. And the 1-0 pitch to Maselli is fouled behind the backstop. Count now even at 1.
You see now, Dave, if I was down on the field, it all depends on what the catcher here does. If he's an out, that'll be 1 out. You're down at 1 run in the 8th inning. That's when I'd have Hunter stealing.
Throw over to first, not in time, as Genscher is keeping Hunter Cullen in check. Maselli standing tall in the batter's box as there's another throw over to first, and that is not in time as well.
He's got a good lead.
As you alluded to earlier in this broadcast, being a center fielder, you got to be pretty fast, and we've seen Hunter Cullen's speed down the base path as well as in the outfield.
Right.
A valuable asset to this Otters baseball club.
Yeah.
The 1-1 pitch to Maselli's painted on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 the count. No outs here. Bottom of the 8th. Otters have a runner on first. Genscher waiting for the sign from his catcher as he throws over to first another time. And he's really worried about Hunter Cullen, isn't he?
Oh, yes. Yes, he is. Well, when you got a 1-run lead and you got a guy that can run, if he's on second base, 1 base hit, he's scoring easy.
1-2 pitch is a pitch out as he throws down to second base. The catcher and Hunter Cullen is called out, sliding head first. Tough break there for Hunter Cullen.
Yeah, I wouldn't have, well, anyway. It's a tough situation. We got 2 strikes on the batter and the guy's running. Batters try to protect the stealer, and they swing a lot.
Next pitch to Maselli is low and outside. Count goes full, but with now 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And a walk to Maselli as that pitch was outside. Riders have another runner, but if Cullen didn't get called out, we could have runners on first and second.
That you can, but you can't second guess now. I mean, the play's over. It's history. What you would do and what I would do and what Andy will do.
As Dakota Phillips approaches the plate. As there's another pitch out, throw down to second base by the catcher from the minors is not in time.
Well,
and we have a safe stolen base by the catcher.
If you notice at that particular time, the catcher for the minors threw a beautiful throw to second, but you had our catcher, who is Calabrese. He was running while the pitcher still had the ball on the mound and actually never even threw the ball yet. So when the catcher received the ball, he was practically on second base already. That was heads up baseball.
Dakota Phillips now at the plate, and he'll swing and a miss. Count will go to 1-2 with 1 out.
Yeah. I think this is what you had the situation when Hunter got thrown out. It was a 1 ball, 2 strike count. And, however, you did gain with the stolen base now, so you're still ahead of the game.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, swing and a miss for strike 3. There are 2 outs now in the bottom of the 8th. The Otters still have a man on second base, and that'll bring up Taylor Hilson.
This man has been with the team for, this is his third year with the team. He's from Pennsylvania as well. Infielder.
Mansfield, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Hilson has a couple hits tonight. Right now, an opportunity to drive in this run and tie this game. And the first pitch to Hilson is behind the backstop for a ball, and that will advance the runner from second to third. Otters now have a runner 90 feet away from tying this game.
Yep, and all you need is an error, pass ball, or a balk. Either way, there's a run.
So with the count 1-0, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Taylor Hilson at the plate, in the 1-0 pitch is inside for a ball. Ball bouncing in front of the catcher. He was able to block it cleanly. Count will go to 2-0, and the Otters have a runner on third base. Fans cheering charge here at Bosse Field, hoping that another Otters run will cross home plate. The pitch to Hilson is grounded towards first base. That'll score. No, it won't score the run. It'll end the inning. Otters leave a man on third base as we head to the top of the 9th. You're listening to Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
91.5 WUEV Evansville.
Welcome back to Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. We head to the top of the 9th. In the previous half of the inning, the Otters had a runner on third base with 2 outs and failed to score him. Danny Urbeck still on the mound for the Otters. It has been a quiet past couple innings. At least it's been somewhat entertaining. The Otters trying to threaten to tie this game and make it more interesting, trying to possibly take the lead. But now we're in the 9th. Last opportunity for the Otters if they want to try to win this game. But first things first, they need to get 3 outs in the top of the 9th. Stepping to the plate for the Miners, as there is a ball low in the dirt. Count now 1-0.
Now, you mentioned it for our fans out there in Otterville. It's kind of tough in an exhibition game to have so many substitutes. You know, you'll have maybe 2 or 3 shortstops, 2 second basemen, maybe 5 or 6 pitchers, and a lot of them don't have numbers, so you don't know who's who.
So the batter for the Miners is Brett Siddle, and he takes the second pitch low in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Siddle. Urbeck kicks and fires for the 2-1 pitch and that is foul behind the backstop.
How did our Brown boy do? I knew he got that last out. It was a strikeout.
I think he just pitched 1 inning, and he got 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, I know. In the last batter, he struck a guy out, yeah.
2-2 the count to Siddle. And the 2-2 pitch, low in the dirt for a ball. Count goes full.
That league that he pitched in college with Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Brown.
Penn?
Yeah, there's not that many prospects in those. They're educators.
Absolutely. As Siddle fouls this ball behind the backstop with the count remaining at 3-2.
Yeah, you're playing sports there. You better be one of the tops in your class in order to go there.
3-2 pitch. Low in the dirt, ball 4. Take your base, Brett Siddle. That'll bring up number 27, Trey Gans. Trey Gans from Florence, Kentucky, playing with a short season in the Red Sox organization with the Lowell Spinners.
Oh, Lowell, Massachusetts.
Yes.
That used to be a Pittsburgh AA club.
First pitch to Gans is outside for a ball.
Maybe 30, 35 miles outside of Boston. It's funny.
The 1-0 pitch to Gans, right down the middle for a strike. Count now even at 1.
Many years ago when I was covering the Eastern League, and that Lowell was in the AA Eastern League, I had never been there before. And I was on my way to the ballpark for the first time, and not knowing where it was, I was about 2 blocks away, and all of a sudden I heard all that music, and it just drove me right to the ballpark. And, different batters come up, they want that music, and loud as can be.
The 1-1 pitch, low in the dirt for a ball, throw down to second base, and he is out.
Oh, there's no doubt about that throw. It was on the money.
Good throw there by Calabrese behind the plate. That was a strike down there to second base.
I'm trying to think of the guy from the National Baseball Congress down there in Miami that was covering. He was the Pittsburgh catcher that caught with the right arm, right hand. Wasn't that unusual? He has a record with, I'm going to say long, record with Don Mattingly for like 8 home runs. Anyway, he came.
As the count is 2-2, and the 2-2 pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 2. And just like that, there are 2 quick outs here for the Otters in the top of the 9th.
Anyway, he came to the ballpark, and he went up to the press box. He said, lower that. People come to see the ball game, not to listen to that music. And thank God they lowered it. But 2 blocks away, you could hear it.
Next pitch from Urbeck is a fly ball to right field. Irby is under it, makes a few steps, and that'll end the inning. The Otters will head to the bottom of the 9th, down 3-2, and will have their last opportunity to try to make things interesting in this ball game. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
Hi, this is Joe Townsend from JMT Restoration. We are proud to be a sponsor of the 2016 Frontier Champion Evansville Otters. If you ever have a mold or water restoration issue in your home or business, give us a call at 812-205-5384. JMT Restoration Service, where professional work meets affordable pricing. Remember, go Otters!
The tri-state area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Welcome back, Bill. Davey Wynn on the call with Bill McHugh. The Otters down 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth. And here's their last opportunity to try to tie this game, extend it. It is an exhibition game, but the players are still wanting to play to win.
Yeah, you need one runner to cross that plate before the game progresses. Otherwise, it's, what do they say, good night, Charlie?
You know better than I do.
I was talking to one of the nurses down at the Veterans Hospital this morning, and we were talking, and she'd be listening to the ball game, and her husband's a pitcher and a high school son a pitcher, and we were talking about, well, she started describing pitchers walking too many batters and all. And I said, years ago, what you would say is, here's a ticket to the Greyhound bus depot, because that's the way you used to travel.
So we got Anthony Maselli at the plate to start things off in the bottom of the ninth. Anthony Maselli is from Burlington, Connecticut, and he went to Boston College University.
Ooh.
Good private school education up there in Massachusetts. His first pitch to Maselli is right on the inside corner for a strike.
Now, I'm not sure, but Boston College, if I'm not mistaken, where they played their baseball games was at the old Boston Brave field.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Next pitch to Maselli is fouled behind the backstop towards the third base line.
You'd be surprised that most of the Boston Red Sox personnel, I'm talking front office, they're all Boston College people.
Mm.
It's like, you better be from there or you don't get a job.
0-2 the count to Maselli, and he lines this ball to right center field, and it will, wow, what an amazing diving catch there by Moran.
Yes, Bugsy, he caught it.
Maselli got all the wood on that pitch. Moran just made a great defensive play in center field for out number one.
It was a good hit by the batter, but the play was outstanding by Bugsy out there, Bugsy Moran.
Up now is Ryan Long, one of our favorites thus far, and I think will be a fan favorite for the Otters this season. Long has had a double, he's had a walk, and he flew out to left field in the first inning. As he takes half a hack down the third base line, as the third baseman Santana will make the catch for out number two. So the Otters now down to their final out, with Carlos Castro stepping to the plate.
This guy could tie the game, Dave. I'll tell you what, I've seen him hit some balls that went over the brick wall. Not the portable fence, but the brick wall. But he's got to get his pitch. He does chase too many high outside pitches.
We'll see in this at-bat. Castro waving his bat back and forth, and the first pitch is a fly ball to center field, and that will do it. The Miners come into Bosse Field, win the third exhibition game of the Frontier League. Otters falling to 0-2-1 in exhibition play.
Yeah, but these don't count.
Right.
That's the point. You could lose every one of these games, and it makes no difference. It's when the bell rings and the league starts. That's when it counts. So right now, it's you play players that aren't going to make the team, but you're giving them the opportunity to work out with the club.
We'll go to commercial, and then we'll come back. We'll wrap things up. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The local area Pepsi Bottling Group distributors would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Featuring Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the Tri-State, the Pepsi Bottling Group has 3 Tri-State locations at 901 East Diamond Avenue in Evansville, 2605 West Main Street in Marion, Illinois, and at 3081 Kentronics Drive in Owensboro. More information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the Tri-State. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Bossy Field. Dave Nguyen. Welcome back to Bossy Field. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune on the call. So we have a final from Bossy Field tonight. The Evansville Otters fall to the Southern Illinois Miners by a score of 3-2. It's exhibition game number 3, and these games are more about at-bats, pitches, for pitchers getting innings, more of just getting guys ready to play. And for guys who are trying to make the team, they're trying to take advantage of every opportunity as possible. There are 37 guys on the roster. Only 24 will make the team. And of the 24, of the 37 coming into camp, 16 returners from last season's team are coming into this season. So there are only a handful of spots available for pitchers and position players. So that's why we saw all these different names and different changes, and we weren't fast enough to keep up with them. But when the regular season starts, we won't see as many changes and positions and pitchers and things like that. So maybe things will go a lot more smoother as far as the airwaves. But for the most part, a clean night. A clear night for baseball. The weather throughout the day was cloudy and muggy, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to start this game. But we were able to get the game in. There were some runs scored early. In the first inning, Chris Iriart led off with a 2-run homer for the Miners to get them on the board by a score of 2-0. The Otters were able to counter back with 1 run, an RBI double from Carlos Castro. Later on, the Otters would tie the game at 2 in the third as J.J. Gould would come around to score from another hit by Carlos Castro. And if you remember, that hit in the third inning was an error on the third baseman, as or the shortstop, Flete, threw it over to Iriart, but threw it below his glove in the dirt, and that allowed the Otters to tie the game. It remained 2-2 in the 4th and 5th innings, and then in the 6th, with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and a 2-2 count, there was a wild pitch thrown by Welch, the Otters pitcher there, and that scored the 3rd run of the game for the Miners, and that would be the final. In the 7th, the Otters would threaten with a runner on 3rd base with 2 outs and weren't able to bring him home. Otters couldn't do anything in the 8th and the 9th, and that would do it. Bill, after this recap and overall, what were your thoughts on today's game?
I thought it was an interesting game, and I give the Otters credit. I saw a lot of good things. They were aggressive, maybe didn't get as many hits, but I saw some good things out there today, Dave, and I look forward to the Otters being in the playoffs right now. I mean, like you said, there's so many returning players from last year, and we had a pretty good team last year. And I am so impressed last year with Hunter and Ryan, and they're back. And then you got Castro, he's back, and again he could add. I'm saying right now I would count on Castro possibly for 12 home runs, at least 40 RBIs, and I don't know about the others, but anyway, we need a little more power. That is something we need. But I was impressed with tonight's game.
Those are our final thoughts. I think, Bill, you said it well. We're going to sign off. Dave Nguyen and Bill McCune. Tune in next Friday, 6:35 start for opening day.
Right.
By then, the roster will be trimmed, and hopefully we'll see a better outcome for the Otters. Hopefully a win on opening night.
And I would like, Dave, I'd like to personally thank our board chairman, our board director, Paul Mattingly, who is outstanding, who helps us keep on the air. So, Paul, thank you. And to all the Otter fans, don't forget listening to my new partner here, Dave. I tell you what, it's going to be an exciting year.
I hope so, Bill. Signing off for Bill McCune, I'm Dave Nguyen. Good night from Bossy Field. We'll see you next Friday, 6:35 Central Time start for the Otters opening night.